a lot of times we look at, well, everything in the training is for certain, meaning, all right, here's the workout card. You know exactly what you're doing. Or here's the program on the track or in the water in the pool today, and here's the exact sets and reps. And Frank Ferencich has talked about this in his books, is there's nothing really certain in nature. Like you're getting chased by a predator. You have no idea how far you're going to run and when the chase will be over. You don't necessarily know the terrain ahead of you or what that's going to be. And so in nature, there is so much less certainty. And yet all training we tend to do and put together is all certainty. So I'll just leave it with this I follow him on YouTube at least, is Kitaro Waga. I hope I didn't mispronounce his last name, but he was a former Wim Hof practitioner. He's really into calisthenics and those types of movements as well. And he had talked about horse stance. He had a really good video on horse stance. And he had said one of his tricks to extending his horse stance was using this thing. I found something called capricious timer, but using random timers. So rather than, all right, you're going to do a set and you know it's done in a minute. So you're strategizing through the set, or let's just say it's 5 minutes. You're strategizing through the set. Okay, I'm tired now. I got this much longer to go. Richard Eshavis talked about those types of brains. Mental, basically the different ways that we look at workouts, and one of which was just the strategizing part where it's like, okay, I know I got this much left, and we intellectually strategize. If you don't know how much time you have, so if you use a random timer, your brain will perceive the entire experience differently. And I just think that's important to recognize. And Kitaro had said he had broken through personal bests many times because he would set the timer with the parameters of it could be way under your personal best, but at, technically worst case in terms of your pain in doing the set, it could end up 15 seconds breaking your personal best. But when you don't know, it does change your relationship to the movement. And so I've seen things. I remember this was back when I was at college. The head cross country coach did this thing called lottery runs. Athletes would run a 400. He'd flip a coin. And as they were going, and again, this wasn't like their staple workout, but it was something kind of to inject fun and novelty. And then they would go and he would flip the coin. And if it was heads, they had to run another 400. And if it was tails, they got to stop. Just stuff like that, just to change your attentional reference in what you're doing. There's another thing too, and I'm running a little short on my time for this podcast. But another thing is scramble circuits. When I was in college, in my own experience, our coach did this thing, and athletes love this. It was a recovery day. So it was like, think of your extensive tempo day. You're just going to go out and run 6 easy 200s or something and do some abs. We would just run around randomly. The coach would lead us. He'd be like, all right, we're going to run over here. And then he would say, okay, now we're going to do push-ups. And he would call it an athlete. How many push-ups are we going to do? The athlete says 10, and we all do 10 push-ups. Okay, now we're going to run to the next spot. We run to the next spot. And of course, we're outside. We're in nature, running, having fun. Different terrain. Maybe it's up the stadium steps. Okay, now we're here. Now we're going to do these abs. How many reps? And someone says 50. And I was like, 50, but it's fun because people are calling out different things. It's just body weight stuff. So you're not going to blow your circuits or mess up your nervous system. And people will laugh when people call a high number. Sometimes people call less. And it's just this group of also uncertain and novel dynamic. And it really made for a great recovery day. I'll use dice as well a lot. So I'll use dice for different recovery days, and I'll have athletes roll dice and whatever it says you run. I don't do that every single day, but I do it enough so that we don't get stuck in only one way of thinking.